By the end of this video, you will not only understand that the 76ers have the worst situation in the entire NBA, but you will also realize that James Harden is going absolutely nowhere and is 100% untradeable. Just listen to this. He's on a 1-year, $35 million contract. He's developed a persona for leaving teams whenever he wants. He's 33 years old. He has a high ego. He just had the worst season since 2012, and he's never made the finals as a star. He hasn't proven to be a winning player. All the super young teams in the league with assets are off the table. And those teams are the Pistons, Spurs, Hornets, Rockets, Jazz, Nets, and Wizards. If you could give me one valid reason why it would make any sense for any of those teams to even ask about a trade for Harden, I would love to hear it down below. Already competitive teams with solidified rosters like the Cavs, Warriors, Suns, Kings, Nuggets, and Lakers are also off the table. Again, all of those teams making no sense. The Pelicans would never trade Ingram, CJ, or Zion or package their young guys for Harden because why on earth would they ever do that? I mean, the Timberwolves just make no sense. They're not giving up Anthony Towns, and Gobert just makes absolutely no sense. And the Bulls just re-signed Zach LaVine and Vucevic and aren't trading DeRozan, who at this point in their career is better than Harden. The Magic, Thunder, Pacers, and Blazers are all also young teams who would never even ask for a trade for Harden. The Raptors' assets are way too valuable for Harden, and they just wouldn't do that. The Bucks aren't trading Drew Holiday for him, okay, because that's the only opportunity they have. And the Grizzlies just make no sense on a timeline standpoint and a roster standpoint. So this leaves us with 5 possibilities. I'll say possibilities in quotes because they aren't that logical. Those teams are the Hawks, Knicks, Mavericks, Heat, and Celtics. The only reason the Hawks make any sense is if they want to trade their young guys to get a big 3 of Young, DeJounte Murray, and Harden, and the only reason that's on the table at all is because it sounds like something their front office would do, but that trio just makes me want to barf. Dallas. Oh, Dallas. I guess I can kind of see them giving up Hardaway, Josh Green, and some picks to get some stupid big 3, but one, I don't think the Sixers would accept a trade from them that doesn't include Kyrie. It doesn't really make much sense for them, so yeah, that's not happening. And it would make the Mavs worse if we're being honest. The Celtics would only do a deal like this. This is the minimum the Celtics would take for a deal for Harden, and I guess it aligns with the Celtics win now blockbuster mentality, but if the Celtics really think about how valuable Robert Williams is and how dangerous the Porzingis-Williams duo could be, plus how it would be pretty risky to pair a high ego player in Harden with Brown and Tatum and put Harden as the 4th option, it's just a risk they don't need to take right now. They don't need another high ego player. They need rotational pieces that fit next to the big 3 and Tatum, Brown, and Porzingis. Next up on the list are the New York Knicks. This is a deal that would make sense to the Knicks because they would finally be getting off Julius Randle's contract. Look, the Knicks do desperately want to get rid of Randle, and the fans do too, and I do believe that they would do anything they could to do that. But that would have to result in them giving up a first-round pick. No team wants to have a deal with Randle's contract for 3 years. And oh, did I mention that this would give the Knicks a lineup of Brunson, Harden, Barrett, someone, and Mitchell Robinson? Yeah, it leaves them without a 4. So they would be very, very small, and they would have to give up Hartenstein in this deal to make it work financially. And for the Sixers, I mean, just thinking about Randle and Embiid together, like, seriously makes me want to barf. But I would be lying if I said it's a deal that Daryl Morey would never do, because he would be thinking to himself, oh, I get an all-star and I get to keep competitive with Embiid. And then there was one, the most likely destination for Harden, the Los Angeles Clippers, who would have to do a deal like this. Look, Westbrook, Harden, Kawhi, PG in 2017 would be the most insanely assembled team in the history of the NBA. But it's 2023. And look, this makes sense for the Clippers because PG and Kawhi's contracts are almost up. So if they want to make one more push at a chip, it's better to put all their eggs in one basket and go for it. But they will be losing all of their depth. And that strategy has proven to be a terrible one lately in the NBA. And Westbrook and Harden also have a weird history, so it would be definitely risky. And for the Sixers, well, I guess they get better depth with this deal, but it doesn't really make sense for them either. And we've also obviously heard reports of the Sixers and Clippers talking about this deal, so this is the most likely deal at the end of the day. The Sixers would be getting worse, and that should be the takeaway of this video. There really isn't a super realistic deal that could be made, and every possible trade would make the Sixers worse. It might just be time for Embiid to request a trade because that franchise doesn't deserve him. Breaking it up and building around Maxey wouldn't be the worst idea at this point, and honestly, I think Sixers fans could agree with that. Thanks for watching.